Hi, it's Cara and this is Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday is a tag series created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey and hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. And this month is Top 5 Wednesday Throwback Month. So the topic that I have chosen to do this week is my, what's it again? Top 5 books I want to reread. So some of these I've only actually read not that long ago, but I'm so excited to reread them. I don't have physical books for most of them with me, but let's get going. So we'll start with the books that I do have physically in my hands. At number 5 we have Vicious by V. Schwab. This is, in my opinion, the ultimate anti-hero novel on par with the middle grade Artemis Fowl. This is the adult Artemis Fowl. It's essentially about these men who make themselves into superheroes, but they're more supervillains. And it's so good. This book is getting a companion story sequel of sorts later this year. I'm incredibly excited for it. I just need it. And I haven't read this in a long time, so I'm really tempted to reread this before that, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. At number 4 we have The Raven Boys, but in fact the entire Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. I love Maggie Stiefvater. I need to read her other stuff, which is probably a priority before this, because I've only read this series and All the Crooked Saints, and I believe I've also read the first of the Wolves of Mercy Falls series, but I can't remember if I finished it or if I read this. I remember reading some of them a long time ago. Anyway, I have an obsession with The Raven Boys and I need to reread it again sometime soon. I'm hoping to maybe pick up the audiobooks as an alternative. That's kind of been my new go-to. I'm enjoying audiobooks, especially for rereads, so I'm really tempted to pick these up on audio. Then we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. For such a long time, I didn't actually want to reread this. I was paranoid that on the second read I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did the first. It was like my favorite book for months. It still is one of my favorite books when I first read it, and I was terrified that if I picked it up again, it wouldn't quite have the same magic that it had the first time. I read it on holidays, like school holidays, in a caravan where I was sequestered away and could just read non-stop, and it was just the perfect kind of experience, and I didn't want to ruin that. But it's now been 8-ish years since it came out? At least over 6. So I'm gonna guess maybe 7 or 8 years since it came out, and I think it's time that I reconnect with this story. Again, I think audiobook might be the way to go for this one. I don't have a physical copy because my mum keeps saying she's gonna read it. Has it happened yet? No. Then one that I've only recently read is the Nevernight series by Jay Kristoff. I've read books 1 and 2, and book 3, Dark Dawn, comes out later in the year. These were the kind of books that I immediately wanted to reread. Straight after reading them, I wanted to reread them. Maybe when Dark Dawn comes out, the last book in the series, that will satiate my need for this series. And maybe I won't have to reread. But the audiobooks, I believe, are available from my library. So that may happen. Maybe. These are high fantasy, following kind of younger characters. They're late teens, young adults, as they go to assassin school. Well, a main character goes to assassin school. It has the best narration. It's a very polarizing book. People either love the writing or hate the writing, which I'm a love person, and it's just so good. And finally, another one that I wanted to immediately reread, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Immediately after finishing this, I wanted to reread it. The instant I put it down. Again, book 2 comes out later in the year, in October, I think. That's Muse of Nightmares, which is the second part. I believe it's in the duology. And I'm literally gonna die. I'm gonna die. It's tragic. I cried a lot over this. It was beautiful. This is a young adult fantasy, but Laini Taylor has the most beautiful writing you have ever seen. Like, ever. And it's just incomparable. I tried to make Jesse read this. He ignored me a little bit, and I'm still a bit salty about it. Anyway, yeah, again, maybe Muse of Nightmares will satiate my need, but then again, I may just get the audiobook from Audible and listen to it. I haven't heard how good this audiobook is, so someone please let me know down below if it's a one that should be recommended. So those are my top 5 rereads or want to rereads. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you read any of these and share my desire to reread them. Otherwise, I will see you soon with another video and next week with another top 5 Wednesday. Bye!